active in setting up businesses from the small ones, and how we are going to summarize the differences between the small, big, medium enterprises. So all these are different types of small businesses and entrepreneurships, which is important in setting up new business types, which is related to each one to single types of business. And inshallah we are going to go through how and in what way we are going to start up the small businesses and what basically resources we may need. Entrepreneurships, which is basically related to the process of creating and also managing business to achieve desired objectives. Basically, this is the most important component of entrepreneurships. We need to check how and based on what we are going to start up the small businesses. Why we should pay attention to entrepreneurships? Because it is related to accelerating growing process of economies, because it is easy to set up a small business rather than going and just have your employment and then think of starting up your business. Technology nowadays, guys, is the backbone of setting up businesses. So you can go through websites, podcasts, online videos, social media, phones. Think of those mobile apps like Jahez, Hunger Station, Julie Check. You can name others. We have a very huge number of mobile apps which is nowadays booming, and they are achieving millions. Okay, now they are achieving millions, because it is basically the chance for them, those who are going to go through the chance of being a millionaire, rather than just only thinking of having their salaries on a monthly basis or on weekly, and just think of that way. Small business, on the other hand, which is it's basically generated from the entrepreneur. It's small one, as its name indicates, but the most important is to be independent. Operated, and it's not necessarily to be competitive. Think of the food truck. They are not direct competing huge and big companies. Think of burger food truck. They are small, and also they do have small number of employees also. Like the food truck, usually you see 2 to 3 employees. So this is basically related to the small business, which is related to one of the most important component of economies. For example, if you go through United States, they have almost يعني 90% which is related to the small business. In Japan also they have يعني similar percentage. And here in يعني in KSA we do have يعني similar percentages which is almost 95 of totally companies. So we are accelerating, we are يعني supporting, we are trying to give the chance for entrepreneurs to go through this way, this direction of wealth. Think of منشآت أو واعد program in Aramco, or Abdul Latif Jamil also they do have a program for supporting entrepreneurs. So all we by the way we have almost now more than 50 organization and bodies they are supporting entrepreneurs. Also we have المناهل fund, المناهل fund which is related just only to support female entrepreneurs. So they are focusing on how we are going to support female in order to start up their own business, which is by the way it's very interesting. يعني they are يعني giving a huge number of services from seeds, from setting up the idea until يعني getting the finance and the fund, and then you are going to يعني go to consumers online or face to face, and then you will become يعني bigger and stronger in the market. As we have stated earlier regarding women-owned businesses, we have in here, as I have يعني stated earlier, المناهل fund which is just only related to support female. So we have here more than 9 million businesses which is just only owned by women, and also we have business women here in KSA too. Sometimes يعني starting up your own small business you may face difficulties, you may not يعني become stronger in a very fast time, but you face يعني hardships, obstacles which prevent you from setting up your own business. One of the most important thing which is related to setting up your small business by يعني what we can call it as seeds idea, which is related to يعني how you are going to start up your own business, what basically the product or service that you are going to offer. One of the most important thing we should think of is how we are going to be innovative, because innovation leads you to the growth and the progress. And also, as we have يعني stated earlier, one of the most يعني interesting يعني and good and positive markets nowadays is the online. To go to online market and then start to deliver your product and services. Because small firms, they are almost responsible for all innovations. Think of the idea of one of the apps which is related to service delivery, using your own يعني location to deliver the يعني right price with the right place with a very good quality, achieving some يعني certain fees or certain يعني limit for profit. We are going to go through another direction of starting up a business. Sometimes you can take an idea which is already existed in the market in one of countries, and you do have the license to operate it. So by this you are going to have your small businesses, which is become stronger faster than normal ones. Small businesses sometimes make almost 2% via franchise. Huge and big companies sometimes get involved or engage with a small business in some operations in order to support them, give them the chance to become bigger, and in the same time they are going to reduce some services. So it will be like outsourcing. They are going to use small and medium companies as outsourcing to save some costs and money. Especially nowadays, we do have the economy went through certain unprecedented situation due to the COVID-19. So most of the companies nowadays, they are trying to find ways to reduce costs. Why we should have small businesses? What is basically advantage of having a small business? One of the most important thing is that you are going to be independent. You will be the boss. You are going to be the manager. You will lead every single thing in your business. Also, you are going to manage the costs, every single thing in your business. It is flexible than having certain tasks and duties in big companies. And also one of the good advantages of small business is that you are going to be focused. So you are not specialized in different services or products. So you are only offering, for example, food delivery. So you are focused on that type of business. And this is basically brand reputation, or what we can call it reputation in business. It's not only related to small businesses. Also big companies, good brands, they should focus on their own reputation, because by the end of the day, reputation leads to trust. Trust leads to consumers' retention. Consumers' retention leads to profit. So we can call it like a process or equation in order to have your always cash going on in your own small, or even as we explained earlier, big business. The dark side of having your small business: number one, stress. Also, you may have a failure rate. Number three, sometimes you may face difficulties which is related to capitalization, having your finance, managing your cost, your profit, your employees, your salaries. So you may face difficulties in all these parts of business. Inexperience, which is a very good one, especially for those who are moving to the market in early age. Experience is very important. And sometimes you may face problems if you are not managing your development. if you are going يعني fast, if you are يعني developing in a very quick manners, you are achieving يعني ما شاء الله يعني very good profit, high يعني cash, and the problem is that you mislead يعني your business. So in this case, you may go to another direction of your business. So it will be يعني bad one. Who is going to be entrepreneur? The characteristics or features of those who are going to be small business owners. One, they should be intuitive. They should look for يعني things differently. Those who are going to يعني use situations in order to be cautious in reasoning. And one of the most also features which is related to entrepreneur is being productive. So they are يعني producing large amount of يعني services or even sometimes of products in limited time, clear-cut time. So in this case, they are going to be productive in a certain manner. It is also important for entrepreneurs to be what we can call it as resourceful. They should know basically how to use human resources, how they are going to use their cash. So very important to think of يعني managing your resources in a very clever and good manner, because by the end of this you are going to have a very يعني good resources in your humans, in your manpower, and also you are going to have very good resources in your finance if you know basically how and based on what you are going to spend يعني cash on new products, new resources, new salaries, or sometimes reducing some salaries. So in this case you are going to have this good feature which is يعني important in managing businesses in general. By the way, it's not يعني necessarily to be in the small يعني area. Also they should يعني entrepreneur have a sense of charisma, where they are going to inspire others with thin visions. Those who are يعني having certain يعني personality, I can link it here to the personality where they are going to lead others by يعني certain ways in order to make them very great supporters, very great fans of their ideas, their products, of their يعني business. And as يعني it's clear, there should be a sense of innovation. There should be a sense of being innovative, different from others. You are trying to be new. You are not trying just only to copy paste. You are not trying to be just repetitive. So you need to be different, be new, be creative in offering your own ideas. Risk takers, absolutely يعني I totally agree. Entrepreneurs, they should be risk takers. They not should be just normal persons or individuals. Persistent, being يعني stubborn, if we can use this word here, to achieve your own objectives, by your own means, and also being friendly in setting up your own business. So we have stated all of these features. How, the question now, after going through all this knowledge, how we are going to start up our own business. One of the most important thing is that you should have your ideas in order to know where you are going to start up your own business. What is basically the business idea that you are going to start it. Then you should have your business plan in order to move on step by step into achieving your wealth. And then you are going to have your own strategy, which is related to whether and where and how and when you are going to improve, open new branches, get some new products, reduce some new products, offer new services, and then you should also think of entrepreneurships and ownerships, finance. You think a way of finding a way of financing your business. Also you are going to go through the decision, which is you are going to having an existed and a current business, or you're going to start a new. Also this is related to ways of starting up your own business. Also the most important thing, as most of nowadays entrepreneurs, they just buy a franchise, an immediate business which is already existed, and they are going to apply it in certain territories instead of creating the wheel from the beginning. Regarding the business plan, as I have stated earlier, it is related to a precise statement which explain step by step explanation into moving business up. So it's very important to have documented, a written one, not just only thinking like brainstorming. I'm going to have a product A and B and C. I'm going to target that segment. I'm using that data. I'm going to price by this. No. It should be a clear written statement in order to follow it. Otherwise it will be just only an ideas, which is an oral one. So if you are not going to have it written and a documented one, you may face difficulties in applying and following it. Acts, which is related to guides or reference. You can use open data in order to get the required info for your business plan. And the most important thing, okay, which is related to having your competition analysis. You should know basically who you are going to compete with? Who is your direct? And bear in your mind, guys, always we have direct and indirect competitors. The competition sometimes can leave you from the market. You can think of a huge number of scenarios where we have witnessed competing environment where sometimes you cannot bear for a long time. Forms of ownerships, as we have explained last session, you may go for just only a single independent ownership, or sometimes you go through partners. You think of those who are going to partner with you in setting up your own business, or if you are going to move it, if you have very good small business and becomes to start and grow quickly and started to become medium, and then it's classified as a big or mega, because sometimes you can go through different cases or scenarios, which is started small and then they have a big companies. Financial resources, as we have stated earlier, one of the most important of setting a small business, which is related to how you are going to find your cash, your money. Sometimes you may have your own cash from different resources, or sometimes you may have capital or finance from different bodies. Maybe you are going to take a loan, or you have already collected some money, which is already now you have it with you in order to start up your own business, and then it's going to be bigger and quicker in small business. Sometimes the equity, which is related to also the capital or the cash, might find assets in order to have that type of finance. Otherwise, you may face difficulties in obtaining that cash. Sometimes investors maybe look for operations in order to sell some stock in the business for family members. These sometimes, and most of the time, by the way, they are joining by family members, or sometimes it can be by friends or employees, or sometimes they may go for different investors in the market. That again, this is related to different business environment, where sometimes take money from financial resources like banks, okay, in order to set up their own business with certain situations in order to support them with their own business. Sometimes they may look for family or friends in order to have long-term of ownerships by giving some cash. So they are going to transfer that amount of money to ownerships. The question sometimes for entrepreneurs, which one we should go? Should we start from scratch, from zero, or should we just buy an existed one? So all these situation, it depends on how and based on what you are going to run your own business, and also it's related to the cash that you have, the manpower that you access. So all these are factors which is basically related to going for that type of decision. If you are going to go from zero, build up your own business think of it from the perspective of يعني small one, make it grow, and then you are going to make it bigger and bigger in the market for longer time. So all these يعني scenarios you may have it into that type of scenarios. So for small businesses, guys, can anyone just think of real يعني examples? Real examples of small business. What do you think, guys? Mobile car. Okay, Muhammad, which is good one. Mobile car wash. What is, Muhammad, Muhammad, what is basically the estimated budget? What do you think? Estimated budget for having mobile car wash business? Okay, which is reasonable, reasonable, and also there is a chance for becoming bigger. And also we have again an examples from who is this one? From Ali. From Ali, he is يعني selling tea at Corniche. So what do you think of this idea of Ali al-Maliki selling tea at Corniche? Ali al-Maliki, he presented an idea which is selling tea at Corniche. يعني maybe it can be very small, but it can be very small, Ali. That means you may يعني find يعني difficult way for improvement. Okay, you may face يعني problems in improvements or having branches, and also bear in your mind the humidity. Okay, it's humid. Productive families. Okay, we have Shuruk. Shuruk, she presented an idea which is related to fast food booth. Good, good, Shuruk. Fast food booth. Siham, workout apps. Interesting. This is يعني new idea, work apps. Okay. So we have يعني a very good idea from you guys. Salim for designing. Okay. Shahad art gallery. Talal burger restaurant. But sometimes, guys, if you are going to have an repetitive idea, think of a food truck, guys. Okay, food truck. But the question here, what product or service you will offer in order to be different, in order to be unique. Definitely. And this is, Salim, what we have stated, innovation. But let's just think of food truck, because it's a small business and you can start it not easy, but in very convenient manner. Pit surface, okay. Fixing car. Renad, culture, food. Siham, food street, almost it is famous. Shrug, maybe book, forgery, and spa. طيب, the question is that how you are going to find or how you are going to finance your ideas. All the idea you have presented, guys, which is good and right, but how you are going to finance your product, from where you are going to find cash. Muhammad from loan, okay. Shopping, okay. Muhammad family, Ibrahim, okay. Good ideas, guys, from parents. Can you okay, by opening a hairdresser. Shahad, maybe thinking of partnerships, which is good an idea to reduce loans, reduce commitment, which is related to finance, and all these ideas okay. Definitely. So طيب, that is very interesting in terms of whether if you are going to generate an ideas of small businesses, and how we are going to develop it into a bigger one. So we can have a very good examples, which is nowadays witnessed a huge number of examples which is related to small business, and nowadays they have become bigger and achieve a lot of fortunes. You can name huge examples. You can know, for example, Sliman al-Rajhi. He started one day with a very small business, and nowadays he is a billionaire. Okay. Saleh Kamil, Al-Jumeh family. You can have a very huge number of examples who's basically started up their own business, and nowadays they are talking about millions. Okay, they are talking about fortunes. So they are well-known business men. And also in the same side, in the female, we can have examples like Lubna Al-Alayan, one of the well-known female entrepreneurships and business women, which is well-known in our countries and also worldwide, because she has achieved very good success in finance and also in managing the businesses. So we can have a huge examples of businesses who basically start it from zero, and nowadays they are mashallah talking, as we have stated, about millions of euros due to managing properly and accurately the difficulties which they have went through in running their own small business. So this is a very interesting idea, which you think of business, not only just thinking of employment, having your own job from early morning to late evening, have your fixed salary for certain amount of time, and then you are going to live peacefully. As we have stated earlier, guys, which we have covered, the franchise and the franchise system, which, as we have stated earlier, it is booming nowadays. It's legal. It is the chance for those who are going to move on to the business age by having an existed already business. So the franchise, basically, it is like a license to sell for another products and use its name in certain territory. We have two important parties who is involving in the franchising system. So we do have the franchisor, who is basically going to give you the products, and also we are going to have the franchisee, who is going to purchase it. Like just think of McDonald's. McDonald's is a clear-cut examples of franchise system. We have the mother company in United States, who is basically the franchisor, and we have Real Food Company, who is basically the franchisee. You can give a huge examples of franchise, because most of businesses, especially in Middle East, or in not only in Middle East, but sometimes it can be in over the globe, because it is a worldwide business system which is accepted in a number of countries who are basically believing in that type of businesses. So you can have also, we can have the Starbucks, McDonald's again, Burger King, Domino's Pizza. You can have a long list of franchise system which is operated legally, as I have explained in that type of scenarios. Like KFC, yes, we have a very long list of franchise, because as I have stated, most of the companies not most of the companies, most of the entrepreneurs of those who are going to start up their own business, those who are want to move to the business environment, they just go through franchise, because the franchise has a number of positives, a number of good advantage, which going to give you money, profit in quick time. One of the most important good advantage for a franchise is that you are going to use well-known brands. The brand that you are going to work, it is well known. Let's just think of this example. You are going to, or you have traveled to one country and you need to eat, so you find a number of fast food companies. You don't know them except McDonald's, for example. There is a high a percentage you are going to purchase your product from McDonald's, because you know what is the brand, you know what is the taste, you know what is the size, you know what is the price, you know what is the quality, you know what is ingredients. So every single thing which is related to consumer behavior is related mainly to the brand's name. Again, if you go, you can go back to the reputation slide. Very important to think of building very good reputation with your consumers in order to build it up stronger and supporter in the market. Because if you don't have very good reputation among your client, among your consumers, that means you may face difficulties in achieving your profits. If your consumers, they are not interested in what you are doing, that's very big mistake in business. That means you may spend a huge costs in businesses without returns. You are not not achieving any good cash. And as you know, guys, you are business students, you know that any business without cash, it means loss, it means costs. So why I should spend my time, my effort into that type of business? So the most important thing, if you think of your reputation, reputation comes from what? Reputation comes from very good customer service, very good products, very good quality, very good social responsibility, very good employees ethics. So all these are going to compose your reputation. Otherwise, if you are not leading and managing your business in that type of manner, or in that type of direction, you may face difficulties into running it in that type of cases. Yes, important, Ashraf. Yes, the quality. Think of any good companies, guys. Any good companies you are dealing with, and think of its reputation. They need to have a very good products and offering very good service. If it's food, and as he stated, البيك, if he's going to use البيك think of the product that they are offering, think of the service, the taste of the food, and the price. So all these are related to which make البيك يعني has very good reputation. Amazon أبرار using يعني another examples which is related to the online industry. Amazon they have the same يعني features. H&M, all these يعني social responsibilities. Yes, Anas, all these guys as we have يعني discussed earlier, think of يعني what makes them good or how they have achieved يعني good reputation. All these are linked to what they have done. And the other way is right. يعني the opposite also correct. If you are going to have very bad quality, let's just يعني think of food industry, you do have very bad taste, ugly packaging, dirty يعني bags, not good يعني employees, you are going to think of bad reputation. Because businesses are so sensitive in the cash. Think of those companies who are basically يعني trying to make يعني every consumers happy. Those successful companies who is basically achieving a lot of cash, a lot of profit, and they stay longer in the market. And think of those who are just making losses. They are not caring for your client. They are saying very bad words, very bad behavior regarding yani, employees and also consumers. They face difficulties, and they they have high percentage of being bankrupt. Can we have, by the way, guys, examples of bad companies? Saku. Okay, Salim Noon. Okay. Shurug Saku. Tulishik Noon. I have يعني Salim, why you have stated, do you agree guys with Salim? Do you think Noon is bad company? Wallahi, we do have يعني some of consumers who believe Noon is good, and some of them they are believing that it's bad. So Salim, he is sharing experience regarding bad quality, bad shipments. I totally agree. If they are doing what you have يعني stated, Salim, this is not good company. Good company يعني we are expecting from it to have very good quality, very يعني quick delivery, and save products, not broken. So if يعني this is the case with Noon, يعني it's يعني really bad. What do you think of, we have another example which you have يعني stated guys. What do you think of Saco? Do you think Saco is good company, bad company? Okay. Oh, this is a very big mistake, Khalid. if they are promoting services which they cannot fulfill, this is a very big mistake. And you can just report it to trade ministry. Just report it, because they are lying, and they are going to be punished by the law if they are lying in advertisements, if they are not accepting returns of a product. Just immediately give a call or take a snap on Ministry of Trade, and then they are going to be just punished. So we have bad companies now, Saku. We have Noon or Simsa, which is debatable in these days. What do you think? One of your colleagues, he mentioned Zain Company. Do you think Zain Company is bad? Okay. Okay. Good, guys. Okay. STC, Muhammad, he believes STC is not good. Fly Adil is bad. Khalid is sharing his experience with Fly Adil. He's not happy. He believes that Fly Adil is very bad company. STC again. Do you think that, guys, STC is bad company? Okay. Okay. Excellent, guys. Excellent. Okay. There is now, I think, Omar, there is no monopoly. You have Zain, you have Mobily. Okay. Maybe Shifashi has stated different perspective. Okay. Excellent. 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 Okay. طيب. والله, you do have different experiences with different companies. So the most important thing here is, guys, go back to the point which we have raised. You have stated your opinion based on your experience with Zain, Sako, STC, Simsa, or whatever is the company. So the question here is that you have shared that experience because you have dealt with them. You face that problem with STC or Sako or whatever. So in this case, you are going to form it. And the most important thing is that we need to always just think of, building up relationship with good companies. And if you are keeping complaining about STC or Sako or Simsa or Noon or whatever is the company, definitely you are going to change it. Definitely you are going to go to another service provider or product providers, and in this case they may face difficulties in achieving a profit. And in the same time we can see agreement on good companies, like who mentioned Allah, I forget the name. I think Muhammad, he mentioned the bake company. We may have good positive for a number of consumers. So because of al-bake, they are fulfilling their commitment, fulfilling their advertisements. They have very good quality, very good products, very good customer service. So in this case we have still some consumers who is believing in a very positive to al-bake. So this is what companies should. And think بالمناسبة think of the profit, the cash that they are achieving. MashaAllah, they are achieving millions in maybe daily basis. So imagine a company which they have achieved millions in one day. So it is a fortune. It is a huge. Salim, Wallah, you deserve, but you need to go to the market. Don't think of just only having certificates and employment and the job and salary. You need to have a business. You need to go to the market. You need to engage with consumers. You need to know your consumers. You need to deal with the cash. You need to have some obstacles. Otherwise, if you are not thinking of going just only for business, you may face difficulty even in your personal needs, because by the end of the day, most of us, they have different needs. You are now single. Tomorrow you are going to get married. After tomorrow you are going to have kids. Your kids after that they are going to be big. They have different needs. So if you are just believing that, okay, I'm going to have BA from our bachelor degree from Arab Open University, go to the market, get a job, have salary, 25 years I'm going to be retired. That's going to have different على سبيل المثال, think of the VAT. Just think of the VAT here in KSA. Okay, next inshallah month we are going to have it 15%. طيب, 15%, that means you also think of you guys as students. Next fall, September, you are going to pay 15% of your courses. That's huge. That wallahi cost a lot of parents, and maybe you, if you are funding yourself, cost a lot of money. So how you are going to deal with that changes? So you need to think of just think of يعني a ways of يعني passing your courses. Try to pass your course. Try يعني to be يعني in your يعني you should manage it. Otherwise, if you are just saying okay والله I could not, it changes everything, and now then that next month maybe 20, next year maybe it becomes increase 5 more, it will be 20%. So your finance, you may يعني face difficulties in your finance. What you are going to do? You are saying just okay, I have my mother and I have my father, so they are going to fund me. They are not going to يعني last for long time. You need to be dependent on yourself. You need to find a way in order to يعني manage your finance. Not just only believing okay, I'm going to take my uncle, my father, my mother, and that's it. You need to have a job. You need to go to the market, and this is my point. You need to go to the market. You need to start up your own business. Small business, if you are going to work on it in a very يعني good يعني manners, you will achieve very good profit. If you are not going يعني for markets, that means you may face difficulties. So life is hard, we agree. Life is not easy, we agree. Life يعني challenges, we agree. But the most important thing, we need to be stronger. We need to find a way. We need to be يعني positive. We think of يعني positive side. But the most important thing, you are now guys studying a small business. You need to apply it. Business is not just only information. It's just not only buying and selling. It's just not only يعني knowing how I'm going to start my own business, how I'm going to find my consumers, how I'm going to do the business plan. If you are not going to apply what you have learned, that means it's still knowledge. يعني coming days يعني we are all going to face يعني maybe hardships in finance, especially students, maybe because they are not يعني having يعني full-time jobs. So parents maybe they are going to يعني pay their course fees. September 15% will be added as a VAT. That means fortune, any cost of money. But the positive side, we need to find solutions. We need to work hard. We need to work plus studying. We need to start our own business. We can go for franchise. If you do have money, just go for franchise. If you don't, just go and have your own small business. So in this case, you are going to have يعني very good money, and you may be after maybe 10, 15, 20 years, 30 years, maybe like a bake, achieving $1 million on daily basis. So who knows? Think of, by the way, guys, you know, Baja company, just go through يعني Insta story. Wallahi, it's very interesting. Baja story, before 15 years, young person like you, he was studying and he just started يعني to buy and sell on, yes, exactly, Khalid, in truck. 15 years. And nowadays, you are talking about one of the biggest companies. They have shareholders بالمناسبة يعني مجلس إدارة. Okay, imagine that يعني case. He is now talking about millions, but before 15, 20 يعني years, he used to be just يعني a small person in business. So this is the bright side about starting up businesses. and not only think of salary, or not thinking of just, okay, I will depend on my father, my mother is going to pay. This is wrong. You are now خلاص, you are adult. You should manage your own self. You should manage also your finance, your cash, your daily يعني spending. And also, by the way, yes, Bassam, Burgerizer also they do have, and Maestro Pizza. All they are يعني business, young businessmen. They are young. So the point here, guys, think of your own business. Let's just highlight some يعني bright side of a franchise. Good about franchise, training and support, you will get them ready. And the most important thing, as I have stated, is the brand name appeal. Think of Starbucks, think of McDonald's, think of Burger King, KFC. So all these are يعني having brand name appealing. Standardized quality, good and services. Sometimes they do have يعني advertisements, promotional advertisements, financial assistant, proven products format, centralized buying power, and also site selection. Sometimes they do have يعني selection on it. The bad side, the disadvantages, the cons ones, fees and profit, it will be shared. The operation, it will be يعني clear. You are not allowed to make any changes. Restriction purchasing, limited product line, that means you are not going to change or add anything. Possible market saturation, and less freedom in decision. You are not allowed to make changes. Okay, you are not allowed to make any changes. So by this, you are going to يعني limited to your own franchise. So we have يعني spent a very good يعني session on business, small businesses, how we're going to start up our own. The most important thing is that, guys, you should think of your own business. You should not only depend on your mother or your father. The most important thing before we leave, guys, I want all of you just log in with your name and your ID. I need to know your name and your ID. So those who are logging with only name or ID, I will not take their attendance, because I am taking attendance after the class. So I can see maybe 2 or 3 just IDs. Those will be absent. I have stated يعني many times, please log in with your name, your ID. طيب, نقطة أخرى regarding your assessment. Inshallah, we're going to have 2 quizzes and 1 take-home exam. Quiz number 1, I'm going to announce it inshallah on LMS. It will be on 22nd of June, Monday 22nd of June. It will cover chapter 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. It's going to be يعني huge marks. Don't lose it. Don't lose it. And also try to يعني behave very good. Try to achieve يعني a very good knowledge, because next fall inshallah I know it is hard, your payment will be extra 15% VAT, but you should يعني don't repeat your courses. Please guys, okay? Think of this way. Don't think of يعني بالعربي لا تحمل المادة. لا تحمل المادة، لأنه الفصل القادم الله يعين يعني بيكون الضريبة 15%، الوضع بيكون صعب على الكثير يعني يتشكى يتدمر، احنا ما نقدر يعني نغير فيها، هاي ضريبة من الدولة، لكن اللي نقوله حاول انك تنجح بقدر المستطاع. طيب this is what we can do guys and everything. if you are يعني انت ذا كويس، تحضر كويس، ادائك كويس، ما عندك مشاكل يعني ياسمين انا اتكلم غير سعوديين، هي فعلا السعوديين ما يدفع على الضريبه على الصحه والتعليم، لكن غير سعودي يدفع. فبالتالي حاول انك بقدر المستطاع يعني تعمل على هذه النقطه. طيب وان شاء الله يعني تتحسن الامور، وزي ما قلنا في بدايه المحاضره خلاص لا تقعد انه والله خلاص انا عندي امي عندي ابوي خلاص هو بيدفع لي مصاريف، يعني هم يعني لابد انه برضو يشوفونك تعتمد على نفسك. طيب طيب يكون هو بالعاده يمكن 20 دقيقه الى 25 دقيقه، 20 درجه، اوكي 20 درجه على الحضور وعلى المشاركه. فبالتالي حاول بقدر المستطاع انك يعني تحصل على اكبر قدر ممكن من المعرفه، او بالعربي ذاكر، بالعربي ذاكر من الكتاب، ذاكر من الشباتر، ذاكر من السلايدز، ذاكر من مواقع الانترنت، ذاكر من مواقع من الكتب الموجوده عندك، لانه في نهايه المطاف يعني المعرفه واحده، تعريف الاداره، تعريف الرياده، تعريف الفرنشايز او نظام الامتياز التجاري هو واحد، لكن فقط يحتاج منك بالعربي تذاكر، واللي يذاكر في نهايه المطاف بينجح، واللي ما يذاكر بيرسم. بالتالي لا يكلف الله نفسا الا وسعها. ايوه راح نحدد لكم الاسبوع القادم ان شاء الله متى بالضبط الوقت والرابط، انه لازم تدخل عليه في وقت محدد. والنقطه الاهم 3 مرات انا اوضحها لكم شباب بالعربي، اي احد يفقد الكويز بياخذ 0. اوكي، لانه ما في ميك اب للكويز، كويز واحد عليه 20 وكويز ثاني عليه 20، هذه 40 درجه، و10 على المشاركه والحضور هذه 50. فبالتالي الان عندك تقريبا قرابه 3 اسابيع، انت تدري انه 22 جون عندك كويز، فبالتالي حاول لا تفقده، لانه للاسف يعني المقر اوضح بهذه النقطه، يعني there is no make up for quiz. للاسف اي احد يفقد الكويز راح ياخذ 0. عندك 3 اسابيع، انت تدري انه 22 جون في عندك كويز، خصص وقت له من الان انك تدخل الرابط، تخلص الكويز، تحقق درجه فول مارك. حاول يكون هذا الهدف الموجود عندك. You need to achieve full mark. اوكي طيب على بركة الله we have finished for session today. wish you best of luck. قبل before we leave guys، قبل ما ننهي المحاضرة، ترى في بعضهم إلى الآن ما دخل على الMS. في عندي كم اسم أنا راح أرسل لهم إيميلات لأنهم لم يدخلوا على الMS من بداية الفصل الصيفي and this is not accepted. اللي ما يدخل على الMS ايش يعطيك انديكيشن؟ يعطيك انه والله الطالب مهمل، الطالب ما يدري كيف يحصل على المادة، الطالب ما يدري ايش المواد اللي اخذناها، ايش المواد اللي ما خلصناها. ف this is guys very bad indication. لانه لمس الان اقدر اعرف بالضبط من اللي دخل ومتى اخر مره الطالب دخل وايش سوى في الMS، ايش الماتيريال اللي نزلها. تخيل طالب الان احنا داخلين على الاسبوع الثالث، الاسبوع القادم يقول لك والله وين احصل الباوربوينت، وين احصل لينك المحاضره. يعني هذه ما فيها عذر شباب. احد جايك في الاسبوع الثالث والله وين رابط المحاضره، يعني this is not accepted. This is not accepted. الان 3 أسابيع مع الاسبوع القادم ان شاء الله يكون في الصيفي. يعني انا امس واحد طالب ارسل لي قال لي وين المحاضره او الرابط المحاضره، للاسف عنده غيابين وعنده انذار. فبالتالي مفترض انه يبادر. الLMS موجود، ادخل على الLMS، في روابط المحاضرات، اوقات الشعب، الايميلات للدكاتره، الباوربوينت سلايد، الكتاب، الماتيريال الموجوده، كل شيء موجود على الLMS. فبالتالي يحتاج فقط تبذل مجهود للحصول عليها. لكن تجيني بعد اسبوعين 3 والله يا دكتور انا ما حصلت الباوربوينت، انا ما ادري ايش، يعني this is not good. everything you need للLMS. وانا اعرف الاسماء هذه، انا برسل لها يعني بالايميل بشكل خاص، لانهم they did not log in. تخيلوا من بدايه الصيفي ما دخل على الLMS ابدا. طيب هذا كيف يدري ايش المواضيع اللي نغطيها، كيف يتفاعل معانا؟ يعني حرام، دافع فلوس وسمر رسوم مضاعفه. يعني لابد يكون عنده حس مسؤوليه، لابد يعني they should have يعني sense of responsibility، حس مسؤوليه. اليوم تتكلم عن طلبه جامعه، يعني المفترض يكون يعني الوعي عندهم عالي، ما يحتاج والله يجي واحد يذكرهم لا انت لازم تدرس، انت لازم تذاكر. المفترض انه يعني تتكلم مع يعني ناس يعني راشدين، لكن هذا من باب يعني فقط النصيحه والتذكير، لانه يعني البعض مو يعني هم حالات قليله جدا اللي يعني، لانه تلقى في نهايه المطاف اللي دفع يعني يمكن الفلوس هذا ابوه ولا امه، وضعهم يعني يحاول بقدر المستطاع يعني انه يوفق بين الدراسه، ويبغى ابوه يكون ولده او بنته معاه يعني بكالوريوس، يعني الشهاده في نهايه المطاف مفيده. لكن والله الطالب ما يدخل على الLMS، طيب ايش ذنب الاب او ايش ذنب الام او الاخ او الاخت اذا كان والله هو اللي يتكفل بالمصاريف؟ فنقطة يعني مهمة جدا، هي نصيحة، لأنه في نهاية المطاف اللي يبغى ينجح يبغى ينجح، واللي والله يبغى يرسب يعني هو هذا قراره، يعني احنا ايش نسوي له؟ لكن احنا نحاول ننصح بقدر المستطاع انه يعني الوضع يكون افضل، واللي يعني لا يكلف الله نفسا الا وسعها. احنا في نهاية المطاف يعني نحاول انه الجميع يحصل على التفوق وليس فقط النجاح. لكن البعض LMS هذا ما ادري يعني كيف راح يعني يمشي في المادة. طيب اتمنى لكم التوفيق، نلتقي ان شاء الله على خير next week as we usually do. النقطة المهمة جدا، لا تتراكم عليك، ذاكر رجاء، ذاكر، حاول بقدر المستطاع انك تذاكر يعني وذاكر. نقطة برضو أخيرة انك تذاكر، فبالتالي حاول انك يعني تشوف السلايدز، الكتاب، الماتيريال، اي شيء. اهم شيء انك تحصل على معرفة، ذاكر لمستقبلك. في نهاية المطاف دائما احنا نقول اللي بيوقع العقد على الوظيفة انت، مو حنا. انت كطالب انت اللي توقع على العرض، اللي بيجيك ما راح حنا يجينا شيء. فبالتالي نتمنى لك كل التوفيق، لكن اشتغل على نفسك، اشتغل على نفسك. طيب الاتندنس as I have stated guys، انا الحضور زي ما قلت لكم من اول محاضرة انا اخذه بعد المحاضرة من الادوبي كونكت، فالمفترض انه الجميع يكون موجود الاسم والرقم الجامعي. انا قلت لكم من الاسبوع الاول اللي ما عليه اسم او ما عليه ID كيف ادري انه والله الطالب فلان الفلاني؟ فبالتالي الرقم مهم والاسم. طيب نلتقي على خير ان شاء الله next week ان شاء الله. we are going to go through chapter 6. prepare it and from me now, bye bye.